All right, welcome back to the Clark Performance YouTube channel. Alrighty, well, welcome back. Today we are working on, I think this is a 2014 Chrysler Town and Country Touring, I believe. Let's go check. Chrysler Town, I guess it doesn't say Touring anywhere, but according to the VIN, it's a Touring. It's got a 3.6, it's front wheel drive. And today we are going to do some strut work on this thing because, as you can tell, they're just leaking profusely. This one's even worse. But yeah, anyway, if you've never done one of these, you do have to pull off both the wiper arms and then this cowl to get to the top mount, or the top mount bolts for the strut. So alrighty, well, let me try to get you guys set up in a good position and we'll start gripping and ripping, and I'll try to show you guys how I rip this all apart and get to everything. Alrighty, stay tuned. Okie dokie, I'm gonna take you off this mount for a second. I'm gonna show you what we got going on here. So first, you wanna pull these two little tabbies off of the holes. So now, what I do, so you got to be very, very careful. And you kind of just want to draw a line to make sure. I didn't tell you to shut off, GoPro. Anyway, I'm sure that last video was probably junk. So what we did was we pulled these off. And then now, I like drawing little lines all the way across, you know, from here to clear down to here. So when you go to reassemble this thing, everything lines up where it needs to be, you know? That's what we're doing here. So yeah, just like that. So when we put that back on, as long as all those lines line up, the wiper blades will not hit, and they'll be back in the spot they wanted to be. So, alrighty. Now, all we really have to do is take, looks like a couple of these little plastic tabbies off. The arms themselves. There's a plastic tab there. Yeah, other than that, we should be able to pull that right off, and then we should be able to get to the top mounting bolts for the struts. So, I suppose let me try to put you guys back up over here, maybe. And we'll go from there. Found it. And them bolts for those wiper arms are going to be 15 millimeters. Those weren't very tight. Alright, so now stick that stuff in a place you're not going to lose it. And now what I have always done, okay, let me show you. This is a little secret. I mean, it's probably not really a secret, but it's the easiest way to get these off. So you want to bend this up and then just push down right here, and then that'll break this free because that's like a press fitting type thing. And then don't get these mixed up, you know, is what I'm saying. Make sure they go back in the same spot. So I usually put one on one side of the car, and then I'll put the other one on the other side of the car, and then we don't have issues. So, lift that up. Just kind of shake it, and then it'll let it loose eventually, you know. Now is a good time to check your wiper blades, make sure they're all in one piece, you know. Okie dokie, so let me get a screwdriver. Let's see if these are gonna play nice or not. Because these should screw up, you know. It's a good screw up, not a bad screw up. Okay. So like I said, that's a little Phillips bit, and that screws out of this. Make sure you put that in a convenient spot where you won't lose it. And then we'll get this one. Hopefully this one screws out. Yes. Okay, we got that one. So now, in theory, this should kind of just pop out of there. Kind of want to shove it. Oh, watch out, GoPro, what are you doing? Get out of my way. Anyway, let's see if this is any better. Maybe. So now that that is out of the way, we have access to the top bolts for the strut. And this is your wiper motor. It's what makes your wiper blades go up and down, back and forth and stuff. And that actually shows me that somebody's put struts in this before. So anyway, you got these three 13 millimeters on each side, and that'll drop out from the top. So now, let me lift this thing, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the procedure of getting the bottom bolts loosened up and what sizes they are and whatnot. So, alrighty, stay tuned. Okie dokie, so welcome back. Figured I'd kind of show you what we got going on here. So we got to take this piece off. That is a 10 millimeter. We're gonna have to take both of these two bolts out. Those are 21s. And then we're gonna have to take this sway bar link off too, and that's an 18. So let's go ahead and we'll start with this 10 mil. Really shouldn't be this hard. There we go. Okay, so that 10 millimeter holds your ABS wire on, or in, on, whatever you want to call it. So now, let me go grab my impact. Actually, we should probably start with this sway bar link. And of course, that happens sometimes, but I want to say this thing should have a little cap, like a little spot where it's ground down to where you can get a wrench on it. So, did not figure out what size that is, so we're gonna figure that out together. Is what I'm saying. I wonder, could it be? Nope. Alright, well, where did it go? Okie dokie. Well, I am gonna go grab a pair of channel locks out of my Suburban, so I'll be right back. Okie dokie. Well, I opted out for a pair of ice grips, so let's see if this works. Let me try to get you guys up in here where you can see. Just like that, bam. Got that one out, so now let's run out these 21s. Probably back you guys up a little bit. I'm probably gonna have to edit all of the audio on this because I'm sure these impacts are just real loud because you guys are close. Okay. one out. Just like that. Okay, and then I'll show you a trick on getting those out, which this is only possible if this bolt right here, can you see how that bolt has a little head on it, you know? So if you hit that flat right there, like, you know, you gotta hold it flat, you ain't gonna mess up the threads, and it should pop that bolt right out of there. So let me try to demonstrate. Just pops right out, just like that. Well, will you get out of there, bud? Come on. There we go. And then from here, you just want to make sure your brake line still has some give. This needs to have a little bit of give. And then you do gotta kind of be careful, because if you let this go willy-nilly, you could pop the CV joint out of the wherever the little, you know, where it goes is what I'm saying. You might pop that out and then you'll have to shove it back in. So, alrighty, that's one side down. You repeat the process on the other side. I'm gonna go do that real quick. I don't think I need to record it, so I will probably stop this here, and then when I get this lowered down, we'll get the top bolts out, and then I'll show you how to flip-flop them. Alrighty, stay tuned. Okie dokie, and we are back. So now, what the goal is here is we want to loosen 2 of these up. I mean, we need to loosen all of them up, but we need to leave one of these hang, so when we go down to let this out, you know, pull it out of the vehicle, it won't just fall out. So these are 13 millimeters. Let me put you guys right there, maybe. Those are super tight. So right, I think I can get that with an extension. Hopefully. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull that one all the way out. Pull that one, but we want to leave that one there because that's the only thing holding this strut in, you know. So I will try to set you guys back up to where you can see how about this thing. Ready for any of this, I suppose. Good luck, everybody else. Okay, so that strut's hanging in there like that. So, just like that, strut comes out. You come over here and you grab your new part. And luckily, on this van, the struts are the same number both sides, so it doesn't matter which side you put where. Most of the time, that's just for the sway bar mounting location. Is the only thing that determines what side is what on a strut. So, you go ahead and just kind of repeat that process. You want to get these 3 bolts up through the 3 holes up here. And just like that, you hold that up from the bottom here and then start a couple bolts up top. And then that's pretty much it. That's really all this strut has to give, you know? And then you just put it the rest of the way back together. So I suppose I will probably put this on a time lapse and we'll go from there. Alrighty, stay tuned. And just like that, we got everything slammed back together. I guess if you have a dirty windshield, you can kind of see where that wiper blade sets. So that could help you too, you know, if you have a dirtier windshield to where you can see where that wiper blade was setting. So, I guess now, let's just make sure these things don't hit each other when they're engaged. Look at that. Good to go. Alrighty, well, thanks for watching. That should be a shorter little video I could put out there for, I don't know what years. I mean, I'm sure this covers pretty much all of the Chrysler Town and Country since they've ever been made, you know. That's about the same thing you got to do on all of them. Alrighty, but yeah, from here, now the customer just needs to go get this aligned and then it should be good to go. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you later.